Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Board Games Unlocked. Dev and I are doing a discussion over Dale of Merchants. 1, 2, or 3, or the collectors, whichever. They're basically all the same, except they just have different animal factions in each one. Now, this is a very interesting game because it's like a deck builder, but also at the same time a deck deconstructor. Because like you build up your deck to get a synergy going, but at the same time you will eventually
be spending those same cards.
To remove them from your deck. Mm-hmm. And that's always been an interesting dynamic for me of like where cards are like, this is very useful for me right now, so when do I give it up?
Right.
To not use it.
That's definitely kind of like one of the crux in this game.
And whenever I'd heard of this game, I was like, yeah, okay, all right, like that's fine, but I, again, love games that have, like, that smash-up style of, like, each faction has a different rule about them.
Mm-hmm. And or, like, removing drag-and-drop mechanics, that kind of thing.
Exactly. Yeah. So every game, you can just take random factions, shuffle them together, and just have a completely
they
different
have, like,
experience.
a handy app, don't they?
They do. Well, it's a website, but yes,
okay.
like, let me close out of Pornhub. No, yeah, you go into the app and kind of curate what kind of game you want to play, and I love that as well in deck builders. Like Dominion does that, where it's like, what kind of game do you want to play? Do you want to play highly aggressive? Use these cards. These are your market cards. Mm-hmm. And on that website, they have just pre-constructed sets. You can just go through and there's like, okay, aggressive. Here are 5 pre-constructed sets that we've already played that you can just pick from, or you can curate it through sliders on what kind of game you want, and then you randomize it, and it will just give you the cards, the decks that you need.
So it's like each game is composed of 3 animal factions.
Well,
right?
in a 2-player game,
It's
number of players plus.
How many players does this play?
4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
okay.
we've only played this at 2. Mm-hmm. I think this game is fantastic at 2. Mm-hmm. I feel like 4 players, and again, I don't know, but just from playing this multiple times at 2, I almost feel like, because the factions don't have that many cards, which is good because that means every card is useful. You're not having a watered down market deck.
Yeah, so they have like a card for each value, like the card type for each value. Yeah,
multiple cards of each value except 1, and I think the highest I've seen it ever go up to is 5. Mm-hmm. Because that's the point of the game, is you're trying to get up to 8, so like there's not going to ever be a card that's just like, boom, here's my 8, 1 value 8 card.
Yeah.
But I feel like in a 4-player game, I mean, maybe just having a bunch of different factions in it just keep it fresh and interesting, but I'm worried it would take too long, because this game doesn't have that much meat on it that it's like, this warrants a 2-hour game, But probably not. I imagine it's designed well enough that a 4-player game probably feels just as good as a 2.
Yeah, this one was pretty easy to learn, and it's actually felt really fast. Like again, it's one of those good games where I'm feeling engaged the whole time.
Yeah.
And maybe that's because it's just the 2 of us playing back and forth.
Yeah, you're not waiting for your turn.
Yeah, the longer you wait for your turn, the less you're going to be engaged, obviously.
And then maybe the factions determine how well a multiplayer... Because because you can set it up to where it's like multiplayer solitaire, where there's no interaction with anyone, there's no randomness, so you're just kind of sitting in your own deck. That a 4-player game would suck, but if you did a highly interactive one, everyone's just... You just have no idea.
Stealing from each other.
Yeah, stealing from each other, like randomness of the tokens or of the dice. But I love the fact that every faction, each box comes with 6, and each of them do something different. Like from the base game, you have the thieving raccoons that are great about just stealing other people's cards. The lucky ocelots roll this die, and they can bump up the value of their cards, or they can top deck to try and build a stall.
And just random, we trade, we essentially mix up our hands and draw from each other.
And it's like, God, why does that one feel worse? That one feels worse than just straight up stealing from me. I don't know why.
Just dirty.
Yeah. But what's great is depending on the faction, you have counters for that. Like the prepared grizzled tree kangaroos are like the barricade was all about, after you fill up your hand, take 2 junk from your discard pile, and it's like, oh, that gives me more purchasing value as well as oh, my entire hand of 8 cards is all junk, and you play Whirligig, it's just like, okay, chances are you're getting junk back. Have fun with that. The Magpies were all about
very specific stealing.
Yes.
Like, it was like I had to pick a random card from your hand and then name its value.
Yeah.
In hopes of getting, and I was like, oh, he's picking up a bunch of 2s.
Right.
Maybe I'll get a 2 out of it.
Yeah, the one, my entire hand was value 1s, and most of them were junk. But then, like...
Well, that's why I'm not going to guess once, because I don't want your junk.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's also like, okay, well, some of them are guess the top value of their deck. And if you can see, like, for example, one of the cards was like, draw a card, then put one card back on top, and it's like, maybe...
You can put some junk down there.
Yeah. Or the grass could be good if, like, if I just saw you purchase, like, a 4, and then I remember where that card's at in your hand, and I play grasp, you can take it and be like 4.
Yeah.
And kind of game the game a little bit, where it's like, okay, yep, nope, that's the one I remember being the 4. Because that's the other thing about deck builders that this one makes amazing, is every card you buy goes into your hand. Which is, one, useful if you need to build out your stall, and you're like, I need a 3, oh, there's a 3, I'll purchase it for next turn. Or, for certain factions, trying to remember what is in their hand.
Right.
I don't think there's really been any faction that we have played that I'm like, this faction sucks, you know? And we haven't played all of them, so there certainly could be one that's like, this is not my play style. But, like, the one... What was... the Flying Squirrels. Were they the ones? I think they were the ones that used up... They could use junk to set up their stall.
Okay.
Which,
I know one. Yeah, one of them does that.
One of them's really good. Out of the 3 we just played with the Magpies. Magpies, I mean, it literally says for advanced players only.
Yeah, well, a lot of them were name specific cards and
right.
Guess values and shit. So.
And it's like, man, I am not paying attention enough to get that to work. I don't think it ever popped off with us guessing it. But I really like those types of deck builders are my favorite. The ones that you can just curate the type of game you want to play, and it's just like, okay, here you go.
Yeah.
Like, especially if you have all of the Dale of Merchants, which I didn't get my collector's or my collection box. They're supposed to be sending it to me. That comes with even more factions.
All right.
So the app is super handy, and yeah, it's so simple. Like, you're just trying to build out a stall of 8, and there's tons of different ways to go about doing that. Like, you could burn through your deck. I've tried that, where it's like build up your stall super early, but then all you're left with is junk, so you're kind of having to sit back.
Yeah,
if you don't
it's like you have to pick the right time to start building.
Yeah,
because with the right values and.
Because if you ever can't draw up to 5, you have to refill it all with junk, so then you're just starting off with nothing except building cards back.
Yeah.
And I noticed this game, we didn't build out our stall until like halfway through the game. Like, we actually built up our decks a lot more, and that could have been just the way the factions were, or just the way that we decided to play it. But I am curious if the way the game goes, because this is something I have noticed a little bit, is it seems like the person who starts their stall first usually wins.
It definitely seems like, well, it's, again, you kind of have to, like, there's a little bit of give and take, I guess.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I did start earlier, but then, like, you have to be at the right time. And it's like, I've always felt like, okay, if I can start earlier, because it's the whole action.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so you're just time-wise, you are in the advantage.
Yeah.
But if you end up where you're like, I'm fucking drawn dead.
Yeah.
You know, I'm top dead. I'm buying here just to try and get rebuilt.
Right.
Then you're in a pickle.
And yeah, that is true.
Like that one time you just flooded me with junk.
Yeah, I just kept giving you all my junk. Yeah, so I mean, and I think that probably is more of just play style, where it's like, if you start early, then I can clearly see what values you need. That it's like, if I can kind of see what's in the market and be like, oh, he needs a value 7, I'm going to buy this 5, or I'm going to try and start taking cards that you have to start getting lower value, which means you need more cards to build out the higher, up to 7 or 8. And I mean, for me, that feels more like hate drafting, but so I typically don't like to do that. But even then, the higher value cards are super good.
I mean, for the most part, I mean, There's lots of different avenues to go for the specific number values, because it's like once
There
you
are.
bridge past 5, you can't do it with a single card anymore.
Exactly.
And it's like you have to have some combination, since ones are hard to get.
Yeah.
It's like it can be weirdly difficult. It's like you need the 5 and the 3 from one specific set.
And you had it pop off like it did for me last time we played with the Ocelots with the charm.
Yeah.
Of top decking a
Yeah,
stall build.
we both got one of
And
those this
did,
game.
Yeah. And it's like, oh god, it gives you. I think you got it. You played it, and then you built a stall, and then you were able to build one from your hand. So you got like a 2-stall.
It was a
build.
2-stall
And
game.
I'm like, I'm probably losing. That's too much of a ramp. But again, even when that happens, kind of like that we just played Mindbug, the game's quick. Mm-hmm. So even if like
And that is just weirdly important these days.
It
To
is.
just be able to set up and play quickly and have fun.
honestly, that it really is like, especially with so many people just have such limited game time that it's like, okay, well, we want to play multiple games.
Or something to just like casually pick up. It's like, oh, here, we have this awkward amount of time.
Yeah, and again, like learning to teaching other players with also having some depth, which is what I'm just pretty much looking for. Like, yeah, again, I like my heavy games, but it is kind of like most of those heavy games don't fully satisfy me by the end. Like, it's kind of like, oh, I played that. All right.
Yeah.
Pack it up.
Yeah.
And here I'm like, man, like, yeah, let's play it again. Oh, what kind of game do you want to play this time? Let's just have them pick one. Because
Yeah.
there's a random, like, you go in the app and it's like, I have to find it. I mean, I guess I could just download it as a thing. But, so you can just go into a deck selection tool. We have 2 players. You can just pick randomly. Boom. Thieving Northern Raccoons, Wealthy Tortoras, and Enthusiastic Wood Turtles. Those are and it tells you what expansion they're from. They also have themed sets, pre-built deck combinations. Like, hey, your very first game, pick from these 5. You want to do, I saw what you did there, whatever that means. Pick from these 5. Okay, you can't actually select on them on what they do, but I like that.
I see what you did there.
What I don't enjoy, and this is where you need the collector's set, that's the squeakiest chair ever.
That was pretty squeaky.
Yeah, it's like, goddamn.
It just derailed the whole thing.
Yeah, dude, the Irish, like the one time you fucked with metal coins, like bottle caps the entire video, and it was like right next to the mic. I hate this storage solution. Like, yeah, go get the collector's box because that's the storage solution, but it's
Yeah.
like, especially if you sleeve cards, all those boxes have lid lift. It's awful.
I saw that. Like every one of them.
It's so awful, but eventually they'll send me my collector's thing that I got from the Kickstarter, so it'll all be condensed, which will be nice. But I just thoroughly enjoy this. One thing that is really cool also is they do it to where your techniques that you play, for the most part, you get to keep playing. You get to keep doing actions, and that just feels very combo heavy.
Oh, right. Yeah, it's like, okay, I want to buy a thing, but what can I do? I like that this is actually fairly affordable for the most part, like everything on the board.
Right?
So it kind of gives you room to use some of your ability cards while also having purchasing power.
Yeah, your entire turn isn't always,
You know, buy, place a card,
Yeah.
buy or place a card.
Yeah, and the fact that even if you do spend your entire turn, like, okay, I happen to have 9 in my hand, I'm going to spend all 9 to buy this 9 because I need a 5, it goes to your hand. So you're guaranteed to use it, whereas older deck builders are, okay, I bought this, goes straight into the discard pile, and I hope at some point it comes up when it's useful.
Oh yeah, that would definitely slow the game down.
Which again, my favorite deck builder, or one of my favorite deck builders, is Dominion, and it's it's the first deck builder from my understanding, and it's literally play your entire hand, do what you can, discard pile, buy, discard pile. But it's so quick that eventually, like, you get really cool combos, and that game also has millions of expansions. I have literally 4 of them sitting right there.
So many of those boxes. How many are there? I just got
over 10, I think, and they're still releasing some.
I've never played the game, or if I have, I've forgotten.
No, I've never shown you Dominion,
Yeah.
but again, it's super quick. And that's another game where you just kind of can look at the back of the rulebook, and it's like, oh, what kind of game do you want? Use these market cards, and that's just what I love. But this one also just has that extra layer, and I like the fact that you have that extra element of the deck deconstruction. Because there's another game called Valley of Kings that does kind of the same thing. Is your entire purpose of the game is to deconstruct your entire deck to score it.
Okay.
And that game felt so mid because none of the cards ever felt cool enough to use. So your entire purpose of buying cards was to solely just put them into essentially
that would be a problem.
So you're kind of like, I don't really care about any of the cards in my hand. I'm just using them to put them in there for set collection for victory points at the end. Here, you have that actual dynamic of like, man, this 5 is being really good right now, but it's my only 5, and I need a 7, and I have that and a 2. Or, to get my 7, I have this 3, 4, 5. I have 3 of the Magpie cards. Do I want to get rid of all 3 of those to meet my 7 quota? I just love that extra layer. So yeah, do you have any negatives on the game?
Oh, let's see here.
My only
I mean, they did
honestly.
warn us with the Magpies, so they were a little high level.
Yeah.
That's a high level of paying attention to other people's shit.
It really is. Or the Magpies might be great with more players because you have higher, or lower players. You have higher odds of guessing what they have versus like 3 other people.
What other people are buying, and
right?
what's in their deck, that kind of thing.
What's in their deck? What's in their hand? I have noticed that. Let me see. You have the whirligig, right? I have one right here. Okay, yeah. So none of the cards that I have seen seem to revolve around multiple players. They always seem to, like, the whirligig literally is pick another player. Yeah. So far I haven't really seen anything that's about, okay, if you're playing a 4-player game, like whirligig to me could be like, oh, like 4 players, everyone shuffles all their cards, and then everyone gets distributed out. Maybe that's just way too chaotic, or slows the game down. I don't know. That's why, since everything so far seems to be about one other person, that's why I've enjoyed this at 2. Yeah. Because it's not like we're sitting here like, oh man, this faction would be great with a 3rd person. Other than the box, like, being whatever, like the distribution, where if you have 2 and 3, it doesn't all fit in one box. I really don't have many negatives.
Yeah, no. It's a good game. Easy to pick up, easy to play, very cute.
Yeah, very
modular.
Cute. Like with all their other games, the somewhat weird art. Like all the animals look like they're what do they call it whenever you taxidermy? They look like taxidermied animals. Like it's like these are weirdly realistic, but also still cartoonish. Yeah. But yeah, very cute. I love that they keep with the animal theme, and how every single faction does something different, which is exactly what I was wanting. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, what are you going to give Dale of Merchants?
I give Dale of Dalesons. Let's do. I'm not sure if I'm quite at a 10 with this one. I enjoy it. It's definitely sits a lot of the same like spots as Mindbug, but I'm at like an 8 or 9. Okay, it's very solid. Like I would recommend this to anyone really. My goody gut says 8.
8.
I like 8.
You like 8?
8 feels good.
I am at a 9. I also agree. There's just something about it that's not quite as, I don't know. Yeah, like because we did just play this in Mindbug, and they kind of have the same overall vibe of quick, simple, and fun. But I think this one has just a little bit more layers that you're gonna have. Depending on the factions, I do feel like this is going to be a little bit more. Depending on the factions that it randomly gives you, or the ones that you randomly pick, you might have a dud game. Like I feel like the games that we've played before with the different factions from just Box 1 were a little bit more fun than this one. Yeah, like this one didn't feel like we were kind of doing much with each other, and I guess
that's true, and that's probably those raccoons. Since we went Magpies this time.
Right. Or
I mean, we did a little bit when we were trading hands.
And that was from the Ocelots, yeah. But like the Magpies didn't pop off. It also said for advanced players, and we were not advanced players. But like it wasn't a bad game by any means. But
Yeah.
I didn't feel like I was getting exciting turns as much.
Yeah,
a lot
maybe
of my
that's
turns
it.
were kind of like, oh, I filled up my hand. I'm gonna put 2 junk in my hand, or the storing cards away. Which again, the tree kangaroos and like the magpies are good counters for each other. Where it's like, oh, I saw you buy a grasp, okay, or I saw you buy that whirligig. Well, I don't want you to have a chance to take this 5 from me, so I'm gonna play this card. That lets me set aside that 5.
Yeah.
So now it's gonna come back,
And it's holding alert to the next turn when you'll have more cards and
exactly
more point value
Yeah.
for purchasing.
So this game definitely has depth, even within the exact same set, which is fantastic. So it's funny how we're trying to justify 8s and 9s. I feel like that's just where you're at.
I mean, hey, we go off gut. We go off gut feel,
Right.
You know,
So many people
this
are like-
this felt like a solid 8 to 9 to me,
Right.
And
I just feel like
really
now,
enjoyed
if
it.
you don't give a game a 10, then people are like, so you hate it.
Yeah.
And it's like,
It's
no, like, it's fantastic, and I can't wait to get my collector's thing, which is kind of annoying that they haven't sent that to me. It's like, why the fuck don't you have it? Send me my shit that I paid for. Because you gave me everything else. But other than that, fantastic game. If you like deck builders, this is a very unique one. Because that is another thing where it's like so many deck builders come out that I'm like, I have the ones I like.
Yeah. Yeah, deck builders, they have a, you know, I like deck builders to me, you know, it's not always been my favorite genre.
Yeah.
Like I enjoy them, but it's not like, ooh, let's fucking play this,
Right.
guys. But I really enjoyed this one. Yeah.
Yeah, this one, and there's another one that came out this year called Chemical Overload, which is also fantastic because that gives you so much control over your deck.
Yeah.
Again, has sets and themes to throw out there. It's not like your standard, here's your market, just buy from that and hope you get what you get. Like, the ones that are unique are the ones. But at the same time, I don't want a million deck builders.
Yeah.
Like, why would I get... Like, if a new deck builder comes out, it's like, okay, I have Dominion that I love for my basic deck builder. Then I have this one. I have my cooperative one with Aeon's End. Then I have Chemical Overload. It's like, I think I'm good. Like, these are fantastic. So, that's our thoughts on Dale of Merchants. Let us know what you think of the game in the comments below. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you. Hey everyone, thank you for watching, and I really hope that you enjoyed the video. If you would like to see more of my content, go ahead and click that subscribe button and the bell to be notified whenever I upload any new content. If you feel like supporting the channel, you can go ahead and click that Patreon link to be taken to my Patreon, and any help is truly appreciated. Other than that, stick around for any other run-throughs or reviews or cool top 10s or whatever I feel like putting on. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you.